5 years ago, Jonas Taylor, a deep-sea rescue diver, and his team are trapped in a sinking submarine after encountering an unknown creature. Jonas is faced with the choice of saving some of his teammates while leaving others behind to die. He escapes with his life just in time as the creature destroys the rest of the submarine, kills the remaining crew members, and disappears. Welcome, fellow horror movie enthusiasts, to another chilling recap by Sinister Snapshots, where we indulge in the thrills and chills of our favorite horror films. Whether you are a die-hard fan or just looking for a refresher, we are here to ensure that you won't forget the horrors. With the sequel now out, today we will be diving into the depths of the ocean to encounter the horrifying colossal menace from the 2018 film The Meg. We are taken to a state-of-the-art underwater research facility, Manor 1, off the coast of China. The facility is operated by a group of scientists, spearheaded by Jack Morris and Dr. Minwei Zhang. The facility is run by Zhang's daughter, Su Yin, who is the chief biologist. Morris is visiting the research station as an investor to see where the money that he put into funding the program has gone to. The researchers intend to lead a mission to explore a hidden section of the Marina Trench. Morris then meets engineer Jax, medical officer Dr. Heller, DJ, who controls the remote explorer, research manager Mac, diver Lori Taylor, along with Toshi and The Wall, two of Lori's crew members. Lori and her team take an expedition down to the ocean floor and are attacked by an unknown massive creature, which causes them to lose contact with Manor 1 as they are stranded in the sea. The rest of the team begins discussing how they will rescue Lori and her team and come to the conclusion that Jonas would be the best person for the job. Zhang and Mac travel to Thailand where they find Jonas. Jonas retired after the tragic incidents that occurred 5 years prior in the film's opening scenes, but agrees to help when he learns that his ex-wife Lori is trapped in the sub. The trapped crew tries to get power back themselves, but are again attacked and Lori gets injured. Suyin, growing impatient, tries to get to the crew on her own and Jonas takes off to help her. Suyin's sub is attacked by a giant squid, and just before the squid breaks through the barrier of her sub, it is killed by a tremendous shark. Jonas sends Suyin back up and finds the vessel with Lori and her crew. He gets her and The Wall on board his vehicle, but the shark comes back for another attack. Toshi sacrifices himself so that the others can escape, stuffing a letter to his wife that he was writing earlier into The Wall's pocket. Back in the research facility, the crew comes to the conclusion that this creature is the thought to be extinct megalodon, the largest species of shark to ever exist. The meeting is interrupted by Suyin's daughter, Mei Ying, screaming after seeing the Meg firsthand. The shark escaped the thermocline boundary and was able to rise higher up in the waters. The group decides to put a tracker on the Meg until they can come together and agree upon a solution to effectively kill it. Jonas dives into the water with a harpoon-like gun that he is going to use to try to stick the tracker into the shark. He is able to get the tracker on the shark in the nick of time, just barely escaping its bite. Suyin descends into the depths of the ocean in a clear tank and attempts to poison the Meg while the others try to lure the shark in. The shark attacks and tries to swallow the whole cage with Suyin inside of it. This allows her to get close enough to inject the poison into the shark, but it also cracks her mask, causing her to quickly lose oxygen. Again, Jonas jumps down and rescues Suyin right in time before any serious damage was taken. The Meg dies in the poison and the crew is celebrating after bringing the shark's body on board. Suddenly, an even bigger shark jumps from the water to grab the smaller Meg, killing The Wall and destroying the ship. The crew is in the water and Dr. Heller begins to use himself as a distraction in an attempt to sacrifice himself and save Jax, who is treading water. He is eaten and the surviving crew escapes using motorboats. Dr. Zhang is severely injured in his altercation and dies of his injuries on the rescue boat. The survivors regroup at Manor 1 and Morris informs the crew that they will be shutting down their research and that authorities in multiple Asian countries have been called to deal with the Meg. However, it is revealed that he is lying and that he is merely concerned with any lawsuits against him pertaining to the crew and that he does not want it to become public knowledge that he was involved in the funding of the project that accidentally released the Meg. Morris goes on a boat without the group's knowledge to try to kill the Meg by bombing the ocean. This plan seems to work at first, but it turns out that the creature that was killed was a whale. As Morris and the crew try to flee the area, he falls in the water. The whale corpse attracts the actual Meg, which then emerges from the water and eats Morris whole. The crew hears of Morris's plan and finds out that the shark is heading for a beach in Sanya Bay, China. The Meg arrives and attacks the crowded beach in a gruesome scene where the shark begins to devour a multitude of bodies that cannot escape the water in time. The team comes up with a plan to divert the Meg's attention from the bay by using whale noises. Once the Meg hears the noises, it stops attacking, and this leads to a chase between Jonas and the shark. He leads the shark to Su Yin, who fires a torpedo from her sub at the shark, which does not seem to damage it. During the chase, there are helicopters trying to trail the fight that crash into each other. The copters explode and crash into the team's boat, which forces the entire crew into the water. Su Yin takes off to assist the crew, while Jonas must face the Meg head-on. In his sub, he charges after the Meg and shoots underneath it as he turns the vessel on its side, using the sharp edges to slice the underside of the beast. The Meg fights back and starts to damage Jonas's sub, so he exits and manages to stab the shark in the eye once it begins to maul his sub. The blood from the cut and the stab wound attracts dozens of modern-day sharks that finish off the Meg by eating it alive. The film ends with everyone celebrating the victory over the Meg. The oceans are once again safe from the prehistoric threat. That wraps up our sinister snapshot recap of The Meg. If you enjoyed this recap, do not forget to subscribe to Sinister Snapshots, your one-stop destination for the best horror film recaps. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update on the latest and most horrifying tales from the best and most chilling films in the horror genre. And of course, leave a comment below about what other horror movie recaps or sinister stories you'd like to see next.